Hello and welcome to the channel. Welcome to another reaction video. Today it's time for the Tudors episode number 2 of season 1. And yeah, as I said in the previous episode, the very first episode of the series, I liked it a lot, that episode. I think it got off to a good start, and we got a good sense of who everybody is, what their role is, what kind of personalities they are. Like with Wolsey, for example, you could clearly see that, right from the beginning, he's very much, on the one hand, he wants to serve the king, but I think he wants to serve himself even more. He's trying to become Pope and, gaining more power himself. That's what he's really after. And we got also a good look at Henry VIII, played by Jonathan Rhys Meyers. I have no idea, of course, if he even resembles the king, not by looks, that's for sure, but by the way he acts or by the way he carries himself. For the very first episode, the things that I saw, he did a good job, and the character of Henry VIII is, of course, very interesting character, and we could clearly see from the beginning that he loves women. I think we saw him fool around twice in that episode, both with 2 ladies in waiting to his own wife. So that was a bit of a shock. Maybe it was normal back then. I really don't know. When you're a king, it comes with certain perks. I guess that's one of them. And one of them was even pregnant, and she went to Wolsey, and I think he's gonna get rid of her pretty soon. And I also got to see all the inner circle surrounding Henry, his friend Brandon, played by Henry Cavill, Superman, which was a nice surprise for me. I had no idea he was in this show. And the main plot of the episode was the war with France was brewing, because Henry's uncle was killed while being an ambassador in Italy, which is totally not correct at all. His uncle wasn't killed. Of course he had uncles, but none of them were killed in Italy as an ambassador or something. So that is a completely made up fact. But I think they were looking for a way to jumpstart the plot. They could have just made it, why not just a regular ambassador? It doesn't seem like there was much getting in the way of Henry going to war. If it just was an ambassador, if it wasn't his uncle, I think maybe still would have gone to war. Would have made sense, that he's that hungry for war. And that was the basic start of the episode. And then Wolsey arranged a peace treaty where Henry would be talking to the French king and try to negotiate a peace that would benefit everybody, and especially Wolsey, because that would lead him to becoming cardinal or pope, sorry. And I also got to see the Buckingham was his name. I don't know, was it Duke, or I don't know. He thought he had a bigger claim to the throne than Henry, and he was telling that to a lot of people. And as I was saying in my first reaction, that's a dangerous thing to do. You only need one guy to go to Henry or Wolsey and tell them about it, and you're done for. They chop off your head. And I think at the end of the episode he was saying, we're gonna raise an army, and so I think was planning a coup against Henry. So I'm guessing that we will see in episode number 2 how that will pick up, and they're probably going to show that how that is going, and probably not going very well for that Buckingham guy. And that was a little flashback to episode number 1. Very excited to dive in episode number 2. Can't wait to see what happens next. And let's do it. Here's episode number 2 of season 1, The Tudors.
There it is. Valdor.
Nope. They're going to the peace treaty.
The Valley of Gold. What if the French don't show? Well, they'll show.
Looks like they built some sort of miniature castle or something.
There they are.
Especially for this treaty. That's a big statement.
I was to ride down alone and meet the king. It's a trap.
What if they mean to lure you down there to kill you?
On pain of death! Stay!
Yeah, I don't think Buckingham has a problem with staying. So the French king is not riding out alone. Only Henry. No. He left his men behind as well, so that's fair. Well, they are a little bit closer than Henry's men.
After you.
Mais non. After you.
The power play is starting already. Yeah, good look at the costumes once again. They look amazing. Look at all those dresses.
During this summit, I am simply Henry, King of England.
Very smart.
J'apprécie énormément. And I'm just François, King of France and Burgundy.
Well, I think the negotiations are off to a good start.
Princess Mary, I introduce Prince Henry Philippe, your future husband.
Aw, so young. And then already betrothed to somebody. It's crazy.
Are you the Dauphin of France? Oui. Then I want to kiss you.
Doesn't seem to happy about. Oh shit.
Mary.
Kids will be kids.
I have got to get one of these.
A fountain of wine. That's crazy.
Don't drink too much of it, Charles.
I don't think he can keep that promise.
I have a gift for you.
No, let's see what that is, that gift. Well, Wolsey didn't seem too happy about that. I wonder why that is.
And all I can give you in return is this pastry.
Okay. If the king is like, what the hell? I'll give you all these jewels and... Is there some stuff hidden inside, maybe? He's lucky he didn't stab one of those birds, you know. You have a dead bird in your pastry.
A young woman over there, dressed in purple and gold. Yes. Her name is Mary Boleyn. I call Mary my English mare because I ride her so often.
Ah, gentlemen.
Doesn't really matter, he's more interested in Anne, so.
King Henry noticed you today. He wants to see you.
Wait. I must go and tell him.
Yeah, he probably wants to see her because the King of France likes her. There goes the beard already.
In my presence, he has railed against your eminence, calling you a necromancer, a pimp,
accusing you of using evil ways to maintain your hold over the king.
And what did Lord Buckingham say?
Yeah, that's what I said, you know,
He told me he has a greater claim to the throne, and that as His Majesty has no male heirs and will have none, that he, Buckingham, will succeed to the throne.
Yeah, what I was wanting to say, you know, that's a danger if you're gonna shout those claims around. There's always one guy you can't trust.
You did well to come to me.
Of course.
But I must warn you, say nothing of this to anyone.
Now he can go to Henry and come across as the guy who saved him.
Bravo! You see that, brother? In most things, we friends.
I think he's a little bit bored with all those plays of...
Even our wrestlers are better than yours.
Are you sure?
What?
I said, are you sure?
Is he gonna wrestle himself? I think so.
I am challenging you to a wrestling match, brother.
No, David.
You're a coward.
Mayor.
Well, we can't turn her down now.
I accept your challenge. Parce que tel est notre bon plaisir.
All that boasting, you know, that is probably set off Henry. Rightfully so, because it was a little bit annoying. Well, let's see who wins.
Then fight on.
He's annoyed as hell with him. If it keeps going like this, those peace talks are not going anywhere. Yeah, whoever loses is going to feel like a fool, like he said, and kind of embarrassed. And that's not going to probably go well with the peace talks. Oh, he lost. And of course, Buckingham is laughing, of course.
I'm not going to sign the treaty. I'm not going to sign it. Go and tell them.
That's what I was saying.
To know that the King of England is easily changeable, shallow, intemperate, incapable of keeping his word, then of course I will go and tell them. After all, I am merely...
Yeah, talk some reason into him. He's way too hot-headed. After all, it was his idea to do a wrestling match, and now he loses and he's acting like a baby. I'm not gonna sign it. Come on, man. Even now, he's in the mood for sex. Or not. I don't know.
I've heard a lot about you.
Oh, this is his revenge, of course. He's still pissed off. You can see it on his face.
And now I ask His Gracious Majesty the King of England to also sign in good faith the Treaty of Universal and Perpetual Peace.
He's not happy about it. I think every fiber in his body is telling him, don't do it, don't do it. But he doesn't really have a choice. I don't think this treaty is going to last very long. I think they only need this, and he's going to call it off, and then we'll go to war. He's still with Mary. He took her home with him.
Leave.
Is he bored with her already?
Now he's not only Charles V, the King of Spain, he's also the Holy Roman Emperor! His dominions are vast. His wealth, extraordinary. You will make arrangements to visit him at Aachen, personally. It may suit us better to do business with him than with the French.
Oh man, there goes the treaty.
I have the way and the means to crush the usurper of my throne as one would crush a revolting spider. I would make him wish that he'd entered the church after
pretending to align with him and then stab him, knife in his back. Because he told Wolsey already, so maybe he did change his mind.
I'll feed your body to me dogs.
Okay, making threats.
But the Duke of Buckingham is raising an army. He says it's to protect him while he tours his Welsh estates where he's not popular.
Invite him to court for the new year. But don't say anything to alarm him.
And then chop his head off. He had a way of doing that. I think he beheaded a lot of people, including a couple of his wives.
Nevertheless, he asks an important question. Whether it is better for a king to be feared or loved.
Yeah, that's a balance you have to try and find, you know. If you're too soft, then your adversary is going to walk all over you. If you're being too harsh, the people will hate you, so... Oh, is she still there?
Have you some message from His Majesty?
No.
No.
My husband.
Yes, I have spoken. He finds that he is reconciled to your condition.
Then he won't send me to a nunnery.
Your condition.
And my child?
That is for the king to decide whether he will recognize the child. I'm afraid I can offer you no more comfort than that.
Somehow I don't believe him. You want to get rid of the child.
My lord, I hereby pledge my allegiance to you and your house, and to swear to serve you even unto death.
Oh yeah. He really is raising an army.
your loyalties richly and properly rewarded.
Don't think so. It's not gonna end well for you.
The thing I care for most is my integrity. What is it you care for most in the world, Your Eminence?
Money. Money and power. Well, it's snowing, so it's probably New Year's Eve. Let's see how it's going to handle Buckingham. Tensions are high. You can't let him find out that.
It has some words engraved on it.
Give it to me. Your Grace overwhelms me. Your words touch me.
Yeah, right. No, he's leaving already. Come to drop off his gift and he's gone again. None of the mood for celebrating.
Hold, Your Grace.
Oh, are they arresting him?
Your Grace is arrested on suspicion of treason.
Here we go.
Your Grace?
This dude is so stupid. Come on, man.
There's no lord in England who'll ever find against me.
Well, I think you're wrong.
On the other hand, he could be found guilty of some lesser offense, heavily fined and banished from court. Disgraced, but his friends and allies would have little cause or occasion to rise against you.
And that would be the best outcome?
But he can still raise an army if he's alive.
And you would see to it that the court came to that decision?
I have every confidence.
Does the king still call for you at night?
No, Papa.
Yeah. He's done with you already. That's what you get, you know, when you have so many women to choose from.
He appreciates the role you will play at my Lord Buckingham's trial, and for all the care you have for His Majesty's well-being. He also sends you this.
Nice bribe.
This is my father's ring.
Oh.
He was executed by His Majesty's father. Did you know that?
His Majesty thought you might like to wear it.
I think that's a message came across. If you go in against the king, you will suffer the same fate as your father.
Your Grace should have a care for his inheritance.
It would be terrible, for example, if some action of yours were to deprive him of a father.
Very subtle, but to the point.
Your Grace has been accused of treason and of imagining and plotting the death of the King's Majesty.
There are some witnesses, which he said it again, so they call those witnesses.
Finds Your Grace guilty of the charges against you.
No.
And so...
Wolsey is not happy.
At His Majesty's pleasure.
This is your doing!
Oh, actually, it's not.
Your doing!
No, he advised against it. Yeah, should have kept his big mouth shut. He put his trust in the wrong people. Oh, gave him back the clock. Oh man.
God bless you, sir.
Take this, Your Grace.
Good.
Oh, he went to see his son. I thought he was racing to see the execution. Oh, no, they're gonna behead him. It's probably for the blood, the straw. Horrible way to go. That's why he was so happy. He has a son, even if it's a bastard. Yeah, what's gonna happen to her now? I think think a lot of the times these guys were stripped of their titles and their land. Double checking if it's a boy. Better not stand there, man. Blood is going to squirt all over you.
For the present, as Henry Fitzroy, he will have his own establishment at Durham House, with a chaplain officer and a retinue befitting his station.
But you'll never see him again, probably.
You should write and thank His Majesty. I only do his bidding.
Yes, he's crying for a reason, so probably she wants to ever see him again.
The Queen!
There's the Queen, coming to the party to celebrate the bastard son of her husband. That was awkward. Holy shit. Yeah, I think she knows what goes on, that he sleeps with other women. I think she knows. Maybe it was normal back then. It's still a little bit heartbreaking for her, you know. She can bear him a son, and now he has one with another girl. It's gotta be painful.
In return for England not going to war with France, I promised him the French vote.
The fact is, Wolsey has gone to Aachen to meet the new emperor.
In which case,
yep,
we are no longer obliged to deliver our side of the bargain.
Archipel Pater.
Oh man, Wolsey is gonna be pissed.
The Pope must be an Italian. That is God's will.
Your Holiness must swallow it.
How do you know what God's will is? You're doing your own will.
Give me a child. A son to fill my empty womb. I beg you.
Well, yeah, you gotta have sex with your husband in order to do that, so... Don't really know if they still have sex or not.
There's been an incident of sweating sickness in the city. You know how afraid the king is of any illness.
How is the king?
Oh, he has the sweating sickness. Or is he crying?
As long as there is such blatant corruption in the church, that heretic Luther will continue to gain followers. I know that if your eminence had been elected, you would have worked tirelessly to cleanse the church of all its evil practices.
The Queen!
Man, this is awkward.
The Queen!
I think maybe she hopes that she's going to be the next queen, but...
Sweetheart,
Yes, Papa?
you know why you're here?
No, Papa. In Paris, no one explained.
Good.
You have to seduce the king. Your sister failed.
It seems he's also tiring of your sister. He no longer invites her to his bed.
Poor Mary.
Poor us. Unless...
You step in.
Even if he had me, who is to say he would keep me? It's not just Mary. They say that all his liaisons are soon over. He blows hot, he blows cold.
Yeah, because you are too easy.
I dare say you learned things in France. How to play his passions.
Maybe don't give yourself to him at the very first occasion, then he won't grow tired of you.
There will be a joint invasion of France for the overthrow of King Francis.
and I shall claim the crown. And once more truly be King of England, Ireland, and France. Just like my father.
All of that because you lost a wrestling match.
Your Eminence has built the most beautiful palace.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Probably the finest house in England.
Which soon will be him. His. And Wolsey's like, oh shit, he wants it from me.
Stay. It is yours.
No. Gives it away already.
With the furnishings?
Where is he gonna live now?
Come on!
So that was episode number 2 of season 1 of the Tudors, and yeah, another good episode. A little bit slower than the first one, but I didn't mind. There were a couple of interesting things going on. And the first one was the threat of Buckingham being dealt with. And yeah, you could see that Wolsey tried to control the king, but to keep Buckingham alive. And yeah, but the king did his own thing. He decided to execute Buckingham, much to the dismay of Wolsey. So yeah, Wolsey probably thinks, you know, I have the king in my pocket, you know, he does everything I say, but that's clearly not the case. Henry does what he wants, and you know, I think the biggest shock of this episode was the peace treaty. It did go on, they signed the treaty, but the way when it went down was crazy, you know. I think Henry was really acting really childish. I have no idea if that happened in real life or not. If he acted like that, you know, he challenged his cousin to a wrestling match, which he lost, and he then was pissed over it. And, you know, if he had his way, he wouldn't have signed the treaty at all. And, you know, at the first occasion that he had, he decided to align with the Holy Roman Emperor. And, you know, forfeit the treaty with France. So, you know, is that all because of the wrestling match, or... You know, I don't think he had much love for him in the first place, but, you know, the events at the summit didn't really help his view on his cousin. And, yeah, like I said, it's a really childish thing to do, you know. I think as a king, he should have had the best interests at heart for his country. I don't know, you know, I'm not a king, I'm no expert in those times, so I don't know if his best interest was to align with the French or with the Holy Roman Emperor. I have no idea. But, you know, Henry seems like the kind of guy, he makes decisions out of emotions, which is clearly not a good thing. He's got some growing up to do, and he's got some learning to do. If you want to be a good king, yeah, you have to make sound decisions, which are based on logic and not on emotions. And he thinks with his heart. He's hot-headed, and yeah, it's going to get him into trouble, I think, in the future, if he starts behaving like this. And yeah, also the birth of his son. He was very happy that his son was born. You know, he made no secret of it that he had a son, even to his wife, which, you know, I find his wife is probably the most tragic character in this series so far. She's stuck in a marriage. With no love from her husband, which he also makes very clear that he doesn't really love her. You know, he's done with the marriage, and you know, her inability to give him a son is, you know, heartbreaking. You know, it's not her fault. You know, it's probably something physical going on with her that she had so many miscarriages, and you know, I understand that in those times it was really important to have a son. He only has a daughter, Mary, and I don't think before that there were any queens. It was always kings. So, you know, the pressure of having a male heir is yeah, it's very much there. And but yeah, now he has a bastard son, which he can recognize, of course, as his own, and he can make a claim to the throne probably when he grows older. It didn't say his name, so I don't know exactly who that boy is. Maybe if he does become a contender for the throne, I have to look that up. Or maybe we will see in the series when the series progresses. I know he has another daughter with Anne Boleyn, Elizabeth, and she's going to become queen. So yeah, but before Elizabeth becomes queen, there's a whole other people who become regent and king, queen, and king also. So yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. If that bastard son makes any plays or becomes involved. I don't really know. We have to wait and see. Yeah, for the rest, it was really an episode with a lot of the things wrapping up already. Wolsey's claim to become Pope was, he was rejected as Pope because, Henry signed an alliance with the Holy Roman Emperor. So the cardinals were like, yeah, we're not gonna side with him, and we're gonna vote an Italian Pope. And yeah, he was very unhappy about that, of course. And so yeah, but his pursuit for power is gonna continue, I think, maybe even gonna grow. And I was really surprised at how easy he gave away his home to Henry. I think it really happened. It was Hampton Court was his home, and he gave it away. I don't know if it was that eagerly, or maybe I think Henry. It took some convincing to do. What I read about, I think, was that Wolsey gave away Hampton Court after he was unsuccessful in obtaining a divorce for Henry, for his first wife. He wanted to stay in favor with Henry, and then decided to give away his house as a gift. So I don't think that happened really this early in the reign of Henry, but yeah, like I said in episode 1, they changed up quite a few things, and this is one of them as well. But yeah, the main fact is that he gives away his house, and I think most of the time Henry is going to live in Hampton Court, and because he liked that place very much. And so yeah, we have to wait for episode number 3 to see what happens further. If they're really going to war with France, or is it going to be another peace treaty, or there are a lot of claims for war, but they're hardly they're not always followed through. So yeah, we have to wait and see. So yeah, for now, if you have any comments, please drop them. I'd like to see what you thought of this episode and the series as a whole. As always, I really like to discuss all the reactions that I do, and the true history about it. And maybe if you've been to Hampton Court or Whitehall, please let me know as well. I haven't been to any places those 2 places. I have been to a couple of palaces in England, but I'd like to, those 2 are definitely on the wish list. I don't think Whitehall, there's not much left, I believe, but maybe you've been there, I don't know. Please tell me. And so yeah, for now, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again on the episode number 3. Thanks. Bye-bye.